Hello there, people of the internet. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing alright, thanks for asking. So, where do I begin with this? I do not actually own an M95 Mauser. However, I have had an M95 Mauser out on the channel before. I even have a video up on it if you want to go watch that video for, more in-depth information and actual shooting of the thing. I don't have it, so I cannot shoot it. But, I figure that the M95 Mauser is the next step of evolution for the Mauser variant, so I probably should make a video talking about it for my video series that I'm doing here. And this video series is, well, a video series I'm doing on everything that I own, and in this case just something I've checked out for the channel, talking about the history and development and why they exist and things to look at and etc. with these various platforms that I have inside of my arsenal, or in this case just something that I've shown off on YouTube. For the most part, I won't talk about things that I just borrowed from other people, but this right here, like I said, is a very important step in the Mauser bolt action system. And the Mauser bolt action system is a very important system. It is what most modern bolt action rifles are based off of. Anyway, I'm trying to put out one of these videos every single day. It doesn't always work out, but hopefully you guys decide to stick around, because I'm doing this video series to try and earn my way up to 100,000 subscribers. So if this earns your subscription, fantastic. If not, then I'll have to try again tomorrow, whenever I put out tomorrow's video. This right here is an 1893 Mauser, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of the differences between the 1893 pattern and the 1895 pattern. There's not a whole lot. For all intents and purposes, they're basically the same action of Mauser. There's a couple of really key differences from the 93 to the 95 pattern, but they're very minor. The actual bones of the rifle itself are basically identical. So one of the big things that was changed, there was some differences between the sights from the 93 and the 95. I don't have a 95 out here to show you, but a couple of minor changes were made to the sights from like features, contouring, things like that. Just minor elements like that. Now, a couple of more notable things. The follower on the 95 had a bit of an update to it that made it, well, since I don't have one here to show you, I'm just going to have to tell you that they made improvements to the follower to increase reliability and feeding and decrease the likelihood of a round nosediving or going back and forth as the follower bends up and down. It just made it a little bit more reliable. So there were changes made to the sights, changes made to the follower, changes made to the bolt itself. If you look on the bottom of our 93 pattern, you can see how the bottom of the bolt is squared off. Well, on the Mauser 95 pattern, just for, I'm assuming, manufacturing purposes, that Mauser bolt was left rounded, and they didn't bother squaring it off, and it was seen that the rifle fed absolutely fine from a rounded bolt as opposed to a square bolt, so it was just one less step in the machining process. Now, one more thing that I do want to touch on. This is something that is a direct result of the Chilean military whenever they requested these Mausers. The M95 Mauser was made for the Chilean military. I don't think that there was any other militaries out there that got the Chilean M95 style of Mauser. But on the back of the receiver, right behind the actual bolt, the bolt handle, there's a little, what would you call it? A little piece of the receiver, a little rivet, no, it wasn't really a rivet. Like, there was a little bit of the receiver that stuck out a little ways right behind the bolt handle, so this way, if the bolt failed for whatever reason, there was that little extra piece of locking surface that would stop the bolt from flying back into the shooter's face. Now, the M95 still had the same style of two-lug locking system as the 93, same style of extractors, same style of cock-on-close system, same style of basically everything. Like I said, the systems are nearly identical. What was that? That was water. Why is there liquid falling down from the sky? But the systems were basically the same. The receivers were just a little bit different in order to go ahead and add that little extra piece of reinforcing tab on the receiver right behind the bolt body, or the bolt handle, right behind the bolt handle, to go ahead and reinforce that bolt body just a little bit more. Now, I don't know if that was ever necessary, and I don't know if it ever came in handy, But if it did come in handy, then hey, I'm glad that they had that. Now, this would be removed whenever the M96 would be created and adopted by the Swedes. But that is a topic and video for another discussion. That is simply another country who had their own requests for their own stuff. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll look into that probably in the next video, in all honesty, because I do, in fact, have an extremely sporterized M96 that we can look at. Okay, so I don't think that there's anything else that I can add about the M95. This is probably just going to be a short video because the actions of the M95 and the M93 are so gosh darn similar. And I just wanted to go ahead and touch on a couple of differences with them. We'll go ahead and roll in some B footage. And if you want to watch the video, then by all means, you're more than welcome to go look up my only video on the Chilean Mauser. So, that being said, thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. I have no idea what landed on my arm, but it was wet, and I don't like it. So I am actually going to go wash my arm. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later.
Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Gary. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.